Picture this. A red clay court tucked away in Strasbourg, France. The kind of setting where casual fans glance at the schedule, shrug, and move on. Just another first-round warm-up before the real spectacle of Roland Garros kicks off. But if you actually sit down, slow down, and watch this match with fresh eyes, you are going to witness something that most people will completely miss. Because what is unfolding on this court is not just a tennis match. It is a war between two completely opposite philosophies, and honestly, the tactical depth buried inside this encounter rivals anything you will see at a Grand Slam. So let us get into it. There is a classic battle that shows up in every combat sport, every strategic game, every physical contest between two athletes who have fundamentally different answers to the same question. How do you win? On one side, you have the striker. Precise, rhythmic, powerful. Someone who wants to control the space between them and their opponent, fire clean combinations, and end the fight on their own terms. On the other side, you have the grappler. The disruptor. The one who wants to get inside your head, break your rhythm, and drag you into a dark, grinding, suffocating contest that you never wanted to be in. Today, that striker is Alex Ela. And the grappler? Oleksandra Oliynykova. Now before we even talk about what happens between the lines, let us talk about why this match matters so much beyond just the scoreboard. Eala is standing at a genuinely pivotal moment in her career. The WTA Top 40 is not just a number. It is a doorway. Players who crack that threshold get direct entries into the biggest tournaments on the calendar. They skip the brutal, exhausting grind of qualifying rounds. They preserve their bodies and their mental energy for the matches that actually define careers. They can afford the full support team, the physio, the sports psychologist, the dedicated hitting partners, the infrastructure that turns a promising young player into a real contender. And Eala is right there on the edge of that world. A deep run in Strasbourg does not just mean ranking points. It means financial security, strategic leverage heading into Roland Garros, and momentum that can carry a player through an entire season. The stakes hovering over this match are enormous, even if the stadium is nowhere near full. Now, to understand how this plays out, you have to understand what Eala brought with her from Rome. At the Italian Open, she moved through the early rounds with a quiet, methodical efficiency. She beat Magdalena Frech. She beat Wang Xinyu. And then she stepped on the court with Elena Rybakina, a two-time Grand Slam champion, and she played a match that tells you everything about where her game currently is. She lost in straight sets, yes. But the tape from that match is gold. Because facing Rybakina's pace, facing that level of intensity on a big stadium court, and competing the way she did, that calloused her. That built something in her that you simply cannot manufacture in practice. And here is the thing about Eala that you need to lock in before anything else. She is left-handed. In professional tennis, that is not a trivial detail. That is a structural geometric advantage against the vast majority of the tour. Her cross-court forehand naturally targets the right-hand opponent's backhand. Every single time. That is the oldest and most reliable pattern in the sport, and she runs it with absolute conviction. She generates somewhere around 2,800 revolutions per minute on her forehand. That is not just spin for its own sake. That is spin as a weapon. It pulls opponents wide into the doubles alley, opens up the court, and creates passing lanes and approach opportunities that less technically sophisticated players simply do not have access to. She thrives on pace. If you give her a hard, heavy ball, she absorbs the kinetic energy and redirects it with even more velocity. She uses your power against you. Which is exactly why today's opponent is such a specific and uncomfortable problem. Ranked 68th in the world, Oleksandra Oliynykova is 25 years old, Ukrainian, and someone who will never make a highlight reel for the speed of her forehand. She is not going to blow you off the court. She is not trying to. That is the entire point. She is the ultimate disruptor. The master of the dark arts of defensive tennis. She earned her spot in this main draw by outgrinding Giulia Paolini in qualifying. And if you understand how stubborn Paolini is as a baseline defender, you understand exactly how impressive that was. Oliynykova plays a style that is almost impossible to describe without watching it, because it defies the way most people expect tennis to look. She constantly changes the flight, the spin, and the pace of the ball. Heavy looping moonballs that seem to travel in slow motion and then kick viciously off the clay. Low skidding backhand slices that barely clear the net and die in the dirt before you can get your racket under them. She gives you absolutely nothing to work with in terms of incoming pace. And on a slick grass court or a fast indoor hard court, this style is irritating but manageable. The surface normalizes the bounce. You can anticipate what the ball is going to do. But on European red clay, especially in the heavy, damp spring air of eastern France, this style is devastating. The friction of the crushed brick amplifies every single rotation the ball carries. When she throws up a moonball, it does not just sit up invitingly. The topspin bites into the surface and kicks hard above your shoulder, completely outside your optimal strike zone. When she hits the slice, the backspin causes the ball to skid and die low, forcing you to bend dramatically at the knees and physically dig the ball out from near your shoelaces. Every shot is awkward. Every shot is uncomfortable. And here is the most insidious part of all of this. Every single ounce of power that Eala generates today will have to come entirely from her own body. Her own leg drive. Her own hip rotation. Her own racket head acceleration. Because Oliynykova is not going to give her a single electron of borrowed energy to work with. This is not accidental. This is not a limitation of Oliynikova's game. This is a deliberate, calculated physiological strategy, engineered specifically to exhaust the legs of an aggressive shotmaker over 3 hours of red clay tennis. And beyond the physical toll, there is the psychological trap buried inside it. This style is specifically designed to provoke impatience. It is designed to make the aggressive player feel like nothing they do is working, until they start swinging harder and harder out of frustration, and the errors start compounding, and the whole game unravels from the inside out. So how does Eala survive this? Because she can. She absolutely can. But she has to execute a specific, demanding, highly disciplined blueprint, and she has to do it under real pressure. The first thing she must do is refuse to give up her territory at the baseline. When Oliynykova throws up a high looping moonball, every instinct in your body tells you to retreat. Back up, let the ball drop, get it to a comfortable height. It feels safe. It feels controlled. But in reality, retreating is handing the point back to the defender. Because Oliynykova uses those extra 2 or 3 seconds to reset perfectly in the center of the court, and the whole grinding cycle starts over. Eala has to fight that instinct. She has to step into the court, take that ball on the rise while it is still climbing, and suffocate Oliynykova for time. If the ball is too high and moving too fast for a conventional ground stroke, she has to be willing to take it out of the air with a swinging drive volley. Make the court feel impossibly small. Give the Ukrainian no time to breathe, no time to reset, no time to reset her defensive web. Second, she has to handle the short slice properly. Oliynykova will use a short, dead backhand slice to drag Eala forward into an uncomfortable position. When you are sprinting forward to track down a dying ball, your momentum makes it nearly impossible to stop, set your feet, and swing cleanly through the shot. The temptation is to try and smash a winner from that position. That almost never works. Instead, Eala needs to drop her racket head, brush heavily over the ball with topspin, roll it deep into the corners, and follow her approach shot tight to the net. The goal is not to win the point immediately with a flashy winner. The goal is to force Oliynykova to hit a low percentage passing shot while sprinting. Treat the net as a strategic chokehold, not a stage for highlights. Third, and this might be the most important weapon she has today, is the serve. Eala's left-handed serve, specifically the slider that pulls the opponent wide out into the doubles alley on the advantage side, is going to be critical in this match. Oliynykova stands deep to return serve. She wants time. She wants space to reset and start running her defensive patterns. So a high percentage first serve that yanks her completely off the court disrupts that entire plan before the rally even starts. The return floats back weakly into the center, and Eala steps in to crush her forehand into the completely open court. That is what analysts call the serve plus one pattern. If she can consistently execute that pattern at a high first serve percentage, Oliynikova's defensive structure does not just get challenged. It collapses. Free points off the serve also preserve her legs for the longer, grinding baseline exchanges on Oliynikova's service games, which is where the match will be decided physically. And the fourth weapon, the one that could be the most psychologically damaging tool in her arsenal, is the drop shot. When a defensive specialist anchors themselves 15 feet behind the baseline to absorb heavy topspin, the entire front third of the court is empty real estate. They have abandoned it. The drop shot does not even need to be a perfect, feathery, dead-on arrival winner. It just needs to be good enough to force Oliynykova into a full sprint toward the net and play the kind of offensive tennis she actively hates. Oliynykova is a counterpuncher. She is uncomfortable generating her own power. She is uncomfortable hitting targets from inside the service line. The drop shot forces her into that world, and it plants a seed of doubt that lingers on every subsequent rally ball. Because now she has to at least consider coming forward, which changes her positioning, which opens other parts of the court, which changes the entire geometry of the match. But here is where we need to be completely honest about what is coming. Tactics only work if the mind is calm enough to execute them. And playing a junk ball specialist like Oliynykova is one of the most psychologically grueling experiences in professional tennis. Eala is going to miss shots. Routine shots. Balls she could hit perfectly in her sleep on a practice court. She is going to frame forehands wide. She is going to dump approach shots into the net because the ball carries weird, dead spin off a divot in the clay. And the danger is not the first error. The danger is the spiral that follows. If she misses a simple put away on a floating slice and immediately starts pressing harder, swinging bigger, trying to compensate with power, Oliynykova will feed on that like a predator. The body language matters. The posture matters. Looking toward the coaching box in despair matters. All of it. This match demands a level of emotional regulation that goes well beyond what her age and experience would typically suggest she has. She has to be completely comfortable winning ugly. 6, 7, 8 heavy disciplined rally balls to construct a single point, and then maybe still not finishing it cleanly. She has to build it brick by brick, absorb the discomfort, and trust that the physical toll is accumulating on Oliynikova's side of the court too. Because it is. Now, pulling all of this together, here is what I actually expect to happen. The first set is going to be uncomfortable. Eala's unforced error count will likely be higher than she wants in the opening games. She will need time to calibrate her internal timing to balls that arrive with weird spin and dead pace. She may drop a couple of early service games. The score might look alarming for a little while. But this is where Rome becomes important. She has felt pressure. She has played against the best in the world on big courts. She knows how to reset. Once she stops retreating on the moon balls and starts stepping in, once she stops taking the bait on the short slices and starts rolling the ball deep and coming forward, the match will shift. Her baseline superiority is real. Her geometric advantage with that left-handed serve is real. And eventually, the physical toll on Oliynikova's body from defending all of that topspin, from sprinting for drop shots, from tracking down wide serve returns, it accumulates. Defensive players burn enormous energy. They just do it invisibly. My prediction for this match is Eala in 3 sets. A tight, grinding, potentially ugly first set that might go to a tiebreak. And then once the calibration is done, once she finds her rhythm against the junk and stops second-guessing herself, she dismantles the Ukrainians' defensive wall in the final 2 frames systematically and decisively. And when that final point lands, when she walks off the court and looks at the points table and sees her name moving closer to the top 40, it will not feel like a small thing. Because it is not a small thing. It is a step toward a completely different professional life. This is clay court tennis at its most beautiful and its most brutal. It is a chess match played at 160 beats per minute. And it is happening right now in Strasbourg, and most people are not even watching.